everyone. Elizabeth Copeland, pro trader here at Verified Investing. And today we're going to talk about some commodities, which are still hot in the market talk all across the world. And first, we're going to focus on the hottest of the commodities, which is US oil. So let's check out US oil here over the last several days. This is the daily chart of US oil futures. And I mean, look at this, just a rise up. At this point, right around March 23rd, we thought, okay, a nice down candle. I mean, this day was right there, 15% on the down move from the open, right? Right about here. Now, as long as it traded within this candle, which it did for at least 3 days, that was going to be a bearish sign. And there were definitely pullbacks along the way within these intraday candles. Now, we pushed above that right here. Okay, that's when we start to say, okay, this is looking a little bit more bullish. But how far can it go? Because just on March the 9th, we had a nice up run of about 39%. That is an incredible move for oil. So basically opening at $97 and then pushed up about 20% up there to 119 before pulling back that 20% and then closing right around 85 that day. So a big move day on March the 9th. Well, ever since then, it has been mostly, except for the next day, trading within this candle. Now, most recently, today, we've seen this nice push up. Have not quite gotten to double top. Again, double top is right there at 119.48. So let's just make it an even 120. But this is going to be the level I'm watching for reversal. Now, here's the only problem. If we break above 120 with some authority and some conviction, especially because we have in the news a looming deadline of as of 8 a.m. this morning, it was 12 hours. So just now it's a little less than 12 hours as this video is coming out. But if we see this conviction or this candle push through with conviction to this recent double top, I should say, that's going to be where we're going to really start feeling it in the markets. And if we're hanging out above this 120 level, that's where we're going to really see some bearish sentiment within the stock market. The commodities market push above that 120 level is really going to lead to some upside. I mean, if we do zoom back out here, we've got some resistance at 123. This is the weekly chart. So back from 2022, we do have some resistance around the 123 level, and then again at 129. But at that point, we'll really be hurting because that is a huge push up within US oil. So look for a pullback first at 120, just a pierce of 119.45 there. And then we have some more resistance at 123 and then 129 if you want a dollar cost average into that one. So that's going to be an interesting one. We have some downside to go, but I would definitely not go long anywhere within this candle right here down to $84. That's a hard buy for me. All right, let's go over to gold. Gold trading within that nice parallel there. It did break out back in October 2025, but otherwise did pretty good. Got a little volatile there, obviously, in January. Pulled back down, very interesting enough, right to the bottom of that parallel channel, and then bounced back. So what was acting as resistance for this parallel channel then acted as support, kind of broke through, but then continued acting as support. So just kind of a momentum-driven play there in February. But after breaking through that parallel, what I expect to find is this does look a little bit more bearish on the daily. This is a very premature bear flag, by the way. We need a few more candles of consolidation here. But if we get a push up to this upsloping trend line, I would expect a downside. So obviously I can't give you an exact target, but a hit of this upsloping trend line here, basically between the next few days, 49 and 5. 5 just a psychological level, though, a $5,000 level. We see some previous consolidation there in the past. That would be a nice short for me. Otherwise, again, this commodity has some downside, and I do foresee this dropping pretty significantly when it does drop. So even a downsloping trend line there brings it down to 4,000-ish, which is not unheard of. I mean, we were just there on March 23rd of 26. So I do see some downside to this. So again, a hard buy at these levels, but a nice short if it can pop back up here to this consolidation level, 5,000 being the first key level. If we don't hit this upsloping trend line over the next several days, just because that's a nice psychological level. We've got consolidation up here at 5,200 and then 54 and then up at 56. So a couple of little areas there to watch. I'm just looking at pivots at this point. So kind of right around here here, and then again here. But the biggest area would be this $5,000 level for me to first enter a short on gold. Silver has been an interesting one. I do want to show again, well, first of all, this downsloping trend line, which connected previous highs to some previous pivot highs, tried to break through there, which it can, especially in the third hit. We've got a better shot at breaking through, but it didn't, got rejected. Actually, look at this though, retraced and tried to bounce the first long level. And I would be apt to go long on silver more so than US oil or gold. I'll be right down here around the $60 level or 60 level, 60.10 or so, right at this downsloping trend line. That would act as some nice support if this did fall there in the next several days. So anywhere between 67 and 65 over the next few days. But remember, I drew this, if you watched just a couple of days ago, I drew this nice fib retrace. And when we were talking about this a few days ago, it was right at this 236 level. The retrace of the 236 hit it perfectly, has now fallen. So let's say that this downsloping trend line doesn't hold. My next level of support will be right there around 61.2. Or just, again, the $60 psychological level where consolidation has previously happened back here in November, December of 2025. So nice little area there of support. Again, that 61 level, a nice area of support, excuse me. And then this downsloping trend line would be one to watch for nice support as well. So a couple of long levels there for you on silver. Let's look at NatGas really quick. NatGas, man, still continue to slow grind down. I still like this gap fill right here at 271.7. I really do like that gap fill there at 271.7. So that'll be my first long level. It's hard for me to short something that is this beaten up. I say beaten up, it happened so quickly. Again, these highs were just made in the end of January of this year. Now kind of trading within this right about 30%, which is incredibly large for a portfolio, but within this 30% range. Again, this is NatGas, so keep in mind the stock we're talking about. But 25-30% range, it's been trading in right here for the last several days, several weeks, I should even say. So if we can get a breakthrough of NatGas down to this 2717, that'd be the first time I buy. Again, I'm not looking to short something this beaten up. And there's a pivot low a little bit lower at 2625. That's a nice little backup area of support there. Okay, and that's NatGas. Last one, we've got platinum, a big parallel channel there. This is actually the weekly, so I'll redraw this for you so we can look at it a little bit together. Actually, we're going to see this nice down move, and you can kind of see that just caught my eye right here. These pivot lows, and then we've actually got some of these nice pivot highs that correspond with that. So let's go ahead and draw that out. I'll show you exactly what I'm looking at here. So look at that. It's almost also we had a wedge pattern here, which kind of broke out. So if you actually look at it this way, we had a nice wedge pattern there. But if we take a look at this right here, look at that. Hits a couple of times. Yeah, I did break out, then came back in. His hit here and then tried again. That wedge comes into play here, tries to hold steady. And once you see those hits happen very close together like this, a good upside is possible. Again, this is the weekly too. So this played out over several weeks. So this is a multi-year parallel channel here. There you go. And then came back down. But what I would expect to see here is a nice drop from platinum. This is PL1, the futures. The first big area of support, obviously down here at the 900 level. It is still trading up here, which is a good 48% drop. So obviously not the perfect level there, but something to watch over the next several days into weeks would be there's a nice little channel right here that has now acted as resistance and now support. And that would be the first level that I would like to go long on this chart, which is well in the upper range, but a nice aggressive level there right in the 1400s. And then you can look for that backup support in the 9s. So very interesting chart there. And we can even look on the daily. Look how perfectly it hits. Boom, boom, jumps up. And then a nice downside, which is only about 20% away, which can move very quickly. Again, a 38% drop in just a few days, which typically not a very volatile stock. But as you see in commodities, once it gets to start talking about it, you get this volatility in those. So very interesting couple of charts there. Those are some commodities for you. Again, different long and short levels that I like, more of aggressive and even some conservative trades for you. So I hope you followed along and stay tuned. We've got plenty of charts to show you all week. Thanks for watching.